What is up, guys? This is Azam with Investify, and today we have a great video for you. We're going to do an analysis of the stock market, the currency market, and the cryptocurrencies market. So there's a lot of information, really good opportunities for you to think about how you can invest and look at your own portfolio. So let's get right to it. Now, over here right now, I have my Robinhood account open, and as you can see that the S&P 500, this is how it's performed over the past year. It's up around 16.5%. Current price is at $280.74, and an all-time high was around 284, 286 that S&P 5 had reached. And yeah, we can see here the 52-week high is $286.63. So it's very close to its high. Now that can mean one of two things, that either we can anticipate some resistance coming in and that we can start to see a downtrend, or we can anticipate a breakout and then the S&P 500 continuing like it has for the past several years. Okay, so with that being said, just to keep an eye at this 286 number because we are very close to it, right? So if you had invested your money in S&P 500 over the last year, you would be up 16.51%. Now let's compare that with the Investify trade alerts for the stocks. As you can see, the past year, right here, we are up over 30.5%. So you could have literally doubled your investment compared to the S&P 500. So again, we are keeping a close look at how the S&P 500 is going to perform over the coming days and weeks. And if it starts to feel like a rejection, that it's not going above it, then we may have to start looking into closing several of our positions and cashing out. Okay, with that being said, let's start to take a look at more of the charts. So for that, I use Thinkorswim platform. Here, as we can see, 286.63 is the high, and it's very close to that. We can see that the volume isn't there yet, but you know, the signals, the indicators are all saying that this is going to continue. Let's also take a look at the QQQ right here, and we're seeing that this is going up, but what I want to focus on is the dollar index. Okay, the US dollar is also strengthening, all right? And we will see that once we go into the currencies market, once we start to look at opportunities there, that you will start to notice that the dollar is actually getting stronger compared to other currencies, which can be a great thing if you're looking to travel this summer. So good opportunities there, okay? Now, the other thing is, whenever we are looking at market, we don't just want to look at stocks or currencies. We also want to look at commodities, in particular gold. How is gold holding with all of this? As we can see that the gold had risen pretty high to about 98.5, but now it's come down by close to around 10%, or at least 9% drop to about 91.18. Now, it'll be interesting to see, with the dollar rising, is gold going to continue dropping? Because as we will compare gold to silver, we notice that silver's been dropping dramatically. So if gold drops a little bit, silver will drop much more quickly. And if gold increases, so will silver much more quickly. Now, another indicator to look at is the volatility index, which is also known as the fear index. So if this is high, if this is above 25, you can anticipate that there's fear in the markets and that people are starting to sell and get out. Okay, so where is this right now? As we can see, currently the volatility index is down around 12 right now. So which is a good sign, because we remember when there was a bit of a drop from the 286 levels, it had increased as high as 50 before coming down over the past 6 months or so, 4 months, I would say. So just a few things to look at here. what's happening with the markets, where we are, what we're anticipating, where you might be looking for hedging, and we can even look at oil. Okay, let's just look at the United States oil right here, and we can see that oil has kind of pulled back a little from its high of close to 15 when it had reached, so 15.25. So it's pulled back a little, so it might be creating opportunities for those that might be looking to invest. But I believe that oil has huge potential right now. It could be a good long-term investment to look into, because imagine it continuing to go up. It breaks over the 20 level and then even this 30 level. So it can literally double in value. And I'm not saying that's going to happen tomorrow, but in the coming years, that might be possible, because we're starting to see more and more activity happen with oil companies as well. So a couple of hedging opportunities with gold, with even silver on the decline, and oil, right? So that's what I wanted to take a look at when it came to stocks. Now let's shift gears and let's go to cryptocurrencies. I mean Forex, so just currencies itself. We have a very tiny portfolio here, and as you can see, we're up about 130 pips. We have 3 alerts here, but let's take a look at the current positions and let's take a look at what's happening. As we can see, Australian dollar is really strong compared to the Japanese yen, and it's starting to reach a level of resistance. So we may expect it to have some resistance, but then I anticipate it to break out and continue with the trend and go much higher, as close as 85. So another 160 pips of profits is possible. Let's look at Australian dollar. Now, Australian dollar compared to the US dollar is actually a good comparison of what might happen with the price of gold. So if the Aussie dollar is increasing, the price of gold would increase. If it's decreasing, the price of gold would decrease. And as we can see here, that it's been in a downtrend, and so that means that the US dollar is stronger than the Aussie dollar, and that's why we are also seeing some weakness in gold. Now let's take a look at euro yen. Euro is pretty strong right now. It's starting to build up, and that's why we're starting to see that it's higher than the yen. Euro dollar, same situation. The US dollar is so strong right now compared to these that it's taking a toll on them. Pound is also relatively strong, but it's not as strong as euro or the US dollar. And we are probably looking into a potential uptrend. So some buying opportunities for long run can be created even more. Pound dollar, same scenario. The US dollar is just too strong right now. The Kiwi dollar is right here. Again, same thing. Dollar CAD, same situation, that the US dollar is much more stronger than most currencies, even including the Swiss franc and the Japanese yen in particular. Then we see that the Euro Aussie is it is in an uptrend, but it's probably resting right now, but I can anticipate that the Euro might win this battle and continue going higher. Pound seems to be weakening right now, so it'll be interesting to see if there could be a short opportunity created there. Pound CAD, we can see that the Canadian dollar is much more stronger than the pound. So this actually might be a potentially good short opportunity right here. And the euro pound, as you can see, euro is just much more stronger than the pound. So certain currencies, now we're starting to see the dollar is definitely dominant. So is the Canadian dollar and the euro. So if you are buying these compared to other currencies, there's definitely opportunity for you to invest in that and get some gains on that side. Now let's completely switch gears and move to our favorite cryptocurrencies. Okay, so as always, we start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been up 8%. We put a trade alert around, I believe, when it was at around 6,400, 6,500 to buy Bitcoin, and it's already up 1,000 points since then. So it's up over 16% since then, and I think this is a very strong support level.